Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it has been a long 9 months that I haven't posted on my YouTube channel, but that's why I'm here for a life update. I'm gonna go ahead and update you guys what has been going on in my life for the past 9 months. Um, but yeah, guys, let's get started. So we're gonna go ahead and go back in time. We're gonna go back into November 2021. So November 12th, okay. So November 12th, my grandma actually passed away. Not of COVID, if not, she had health issues. So it was also that same day that my mom was gonna go and visit her. My mom left by herself because I couldn't go. It was senior year, my last year of high school, and I really, really needed to focus in school. So I really didn't want to like miss so much school. Even though I kind of did, but it's okay. Um, but my mom, she was gonna go by herself, and then when my mom came back, I was gonna go for Thanksgiving break for the whole week and go see her by myself. So my mom left. My mom had her fly at 6 a.m. in the morning, and my mom left my house at 3 a.m. because my mom, she likes being on time, and yeah. So my mom, they came and pick her up to take her to the airport. I woke up. I helped my mom take out her luggages outside, and then yeah, my mom was, she was gonna leave. Obviously, we said our goodbyes. I hugged her. I told her to call me when she landed, and I came back inside. I locked all the doors. Um, I went back to sleep. I want to say like about an hour passed. I think it was like around 4:30 around there. My sister called me and basically told me that my grandma had passed away, and I was in shock. Like, I didn't believe it, and I was like, what? And she like said it again. She was like, my grandma passed away. My uncle called me and told me that she passed away, and I was like, no way. Like I said, like, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. And then my sister's like, I kind of do wish that you went with my mom, and all that. And I was like, I know. And obviously I started crying. And then we hung up the phone. I called my uncle, and we were just talking, and I basically told him not to call my mom, not to tell her until she got there to like the airport, until my uncle picked her up from the airport, because she was by herself. Obviously I wasn't with her. And he was like, you're not coming with her? I was like, no, because of my school. And he was like, okay, like, I won't tell her. I'm like, okay. So, and then we hung up because in the background, you hear like a lot of noise, a lot of talking. So I'm like, okay, like, I hope you guys are doing good. Like, just please don't call your mom. So, and then I called, I don't remember what time it was when I called my brother, but I called my brother, and I basically told him like, hey, like, I don't know if you know, but my grandma passed away. And he was like, yeah, like, Michelle, my sister, she texted me, I think he said, or called him, I'm not too sure, and told me. And I was like, oh, okay, but I'm calling you to let you know to not tell my mom because she doesn't know yet. She's still not in New York. And he was like, okay, like, thank God you called, because I was about to call my mom right now to check up on her to see how she is. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I called him too, because if not, and then he was basically like, oh, like, but how are you, and all that. And then he was like, damn, Lindsay, like, you were about to go too for Thanksgiving break. And I was like, I know. And that's what broke me even more, was because, like, I didn't have the chance to go see her for the last time, you know. So I started crying again. I started crying, like ugly crying. And obviously he was hearing me cry, so he just got quiet. And so I remember that I muted myself because I didn't want him to hear me cry. Um, but in the background, my sister-in-law was there. In the background, I kind of hear my sister telling him like she shouldn't go to school. So my brother's like, yeah, don't go to school, just stay home. And I was like, okay. So and then we were just talking. We hung up the phone. Um, I think I stayed awake. I'm not too sure. I don't know what time it was when I had called my brother, but I think it was the same time when my sister called me. I kind of called everybody because I didn't want them to tell my mom. Like, like we didn't want them to tell my mom, and then something happened to her, and then obviously we don't want something to happen to her. That's why we didn't tell her. But I think it was like around 5 my time. My brother's time was like 7 in the morning. I think, I'm not too sure. Um, so and then my my sister called me my sister called me back, and she was like, hey, like, are you okay? So I was assuming that my brother called her and basically told me like I was crying, I was like bad. And she was like, hey, are you okay? Do you want me to go pick you up? And I was like, no, like I wanna be by myself right now. I didn't want to be around anybody. I was just, obviously I was sad, I was really broken. So I didn't, that week that everything happened, obviously I didn't go to school. I don't know what day she passed away, but I remember I went to school. Okay, okay, now I know. So I think it was on the Friday that she had passed away. Monday I went to school, and obviously we all get those questions from teachers. Oh, why didn't you come to school on Friday and this and that? And obviously just thinking, I'm like, oh, because this and that. I kind of like started like crying. I wasn't okay to be at school, so I called my brother-in-law's sister if she could come pick me up from school because she was on my emergency contact list, whatever. So, and she was honestly the only person who I could have told, because obviously my mom was in New York, my sister lives like 40 minutes away, so she was the only person. And I texted my sister. I was like, hey, like, she's gonna come pick me up, and because I honestly, I can't really do this. I freaking crying. So she was like, okay, but also you need to be strong for you to go to Mexico. I'll get to that point right now. And I was like, okay. So and then she came and picked me up from school. And then I remember that she told me that she had told the office that I was gonna maybe get some time off of school, or maybe not come to school as much this whole week, or that whole week, because we were going through a family death. So she had told me that the office had told them like she could take as time off, but obviously like call the attendance. So that's what we did. I think I missed that whole week off because I wasn't mentally there. I wasn't emotionally, physically, whatever. I wasn't 100% there. So yeah. So I missed that whole week of school. And I kind of told my mom too. And she was like, oh, well, you need to be strong too because of Mexico and all that. And I was like, okay. But I was kind of still took the whole week off. Um, and then in New York, they had like a whole service for my grandma and everything. My grandma's last 3 wishes were that when she passes away, she wants to go get buried in Mexico with my grandma's mom. So and then they had us a service here in New York. They had a service, from there, they sent my grandma to Mexico. When my mom came back from New York, one of my cousins came with her because he wanted to go to Mexico as well. So we were here, I think, for only 2 weeks, and then after we left to Mexico, um, another wish of my grandma was that when she was getting buried or when she got to her house, that was another wish, that she wanted a banda. So obviously she got sent to Mexico, she had her banda, and when she got to Mexico, she said that the first thing she wanted to do is go straight to her house that she has, because when she lived there, she had a house, she owned a house, or she built a house. So she had a house. So there she was. When she got there, she went straight to her house. I remember that same day when she got there. Hello, can you hear me? Sorry, I was getting a phone call. That same day that she got there, me, my mom, and my cousin, and I don't remember who else, but we stayed there at my grandma's house with her, and we went to sleep. I remember like we were awake like at 3 in the morning. I want to sleep like around 4:30, because other family members were still there, like one of my aunts, our cousins, and another like good friend were there, and they were freaking drinking and having loud music. Oh, not loud music, but they were having music. So I couldn't really sleep. So I was just outside with my mom and all of them, and I went inside, and I I think it was like around 4:30 that I went to sleep. And then my mom the next day had told them like, what time did you want to sleep? And she said that she went to sleep like around 5, because they were still there. And they all left like around 5ish. And I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah. And then obviously the next day we had the service at her house. And then after that we went to the pantheon, and then we buried her and all that. And then we came back home. Everybody came back home. We all ate, because obviously we gave them food. And then that same day, the day that we buried her, it was the first rezamiento. So in Mexico, you're supposed to rezar. I don't think it's just Mexico. I think everybody. I'm not too sure. You're supposed to rezar. So that's what we did in Mexico. We rezar for the whole week, and then after that we the last day of the rezamientos, we had to do the levantada de cruz, which was you have to have a padrino madrina of the cross, of the candles, of flowers, of whatever, or of everything, I guess. So the madrina of the cross, like she comes, she lays the big cross on the floor on top of this, like, I don't know what it's called, but it was like a white powder type of thing that was bendecida. And also you put flowers around the J. You put flowers around the cross, and then you put the cross, and then on top, right on top of the cross, you put a flower cross, like a cross of just puras flores. So you put that there, and then something else was on top of that other flower one. I forgot what it was. I think it was another cross, like an actual like metal type of cross. I'm not too sure. I don't really remember. I think it was. And then obviously we rested the whole week. The levantada de cruz, we levantar obviously the cruces, the flower one, and her cross that she was gonna have on her graveyard with like her name and like a nice little message and all that. And then And then what we did was we were rezando. Family members, friends, everybody who was there will come bendecir, bendecir, bendecir. Yeah, we'll like bendecir the cross ourselves and then do it. Bendecir the cross with holy water and then ourselves as well. And then after that, the next day, we want to go take it to her. We want to go put it on in her little her graveyard. With all the flowers she had. Like my grandma had so many flowers, like a lot of flowers. I remember a whole family came and they brought like 5 baskets of flowers. Like my grandma had so many flowers. Like she had a lot. But and then after that, like everybody came back home. We all ate. After everything was done, like the rezamientos, everything. Me, my mom, my cousin, we still stayed there in Mexico for I want to say like another week. I think I'm not too sure. I think it was. I'm not too sure. And when we were there, we were just hanging out with like our friends. With our family members, and with my grandpa, with my aunts, cousins, and all that. And then after we came back, my cousin, he wanted to go home already, so he lived in New York. I took him, so I spent Christmas and New Year's in New York. And for New Year's, I wanted to go to Times Square for the what was it called, the ball drop. I think that's what it's called. But it was like 20 degrees. It was so many people, and nobody wanted to go. Like, okay, fine. So we just did New Year's at my aunt's house. My cousins were there, and like yeah, and then my mom. I was there for like 2 weeks, I think. My mom went back because she had some things that she had to go do. And then yeah, we came back and all that. I still had school. I had so much things to do for school because we had finals. We had a lot of things, and then obviously the senior year. And then I graduated high school June 3rd. I got my diploma. I finished high school. Yeah, so now I'm done with high school. Obviously, now what I have next is college. I start college in the fall. But yeah, and then my brother and my sister-in-law, they had a baby. They had a girl, my first niece, my mom's first granddaughter. Is it granddaughter or granddaughter? And then I've never mentioned, but my sister, she also had a baby, but he's already 9 months. 9 months or 10. 9, I think 9. 9, 10, 11. No, 10, 11. Yeah, I think he's 9, 10 months. I don't know. My niece, she's I think 5 months. February, March, April, May, June. 4 months, 5 months. I don't know. But yeah. So our family is growing more and more and more. We need the family to keep on growing. But yeah, also another thing is that, hold on, I'm like slowly going down. Another thing, my mic. Another thing is that my cat, if you guys go back and watch, I think it was the cleaning my room with me / Home Alone, something like that. You guys see that my cat was in the video. Recently my cat passed away as well. She was a baby. She was 1 year old. She barely turned 1, June 12th. She passed away June 19th. Father's Day. Yesterday, Sunday, made a week that she passed away. We don't know what happened to her. She was just outside, and my neighbor, my back neighbor, because we have a house in the back, so he was leaving to the store, And he was telling me, he was like, hey, he came and told me, he's like, hey, I think Luna is dead in the front. I'm like, huh? So I went and checked, and yes, it was her. She already had ants, I think, in her eyes. I'm not too sure. But we don't know what had happened. My Luna was very, how do I say it? She was very playful. So we think something maybe poked her because, or bit her, I don't know. Because she was very playful. Any little noise she hears, she wants to go see what it is. My mom thinks that's maybe like a little snake. And I'm not, maybe because there's been times that we do find snakes here in my house, like outside, not inside. Outside, heck no, I don't do snakes. um Last time my mom did find like a little snake in the fans. So that, no sis. So like I said, we don't know what had happened. But my Luna girl's no longer with us. I wanted her ashes, but because she did pass away on a Sunday and on Father's Day, everything was closed. There was nothing open. I called, I was on hold. Oh, I called like 3, 4 different hospitals, and they were all closed. Not even open for emergencies, nothing. So obviously we couldn't like save her and then the next day take her, because obviously she was gonna like start smelling and all that. So the only choice we actually had was to bury her, which we did. We buried her. um but yeah, guys, but that's basically a little life update. I think that's it. I think that's it. No more to do. But yes, but if you guys, I guess, enjoyed today's video, you guys kind of understood where I was coming from, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, turn on your post notifications to be notified every time I post a new video every 9 months. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna try not to do that no more. And comment down below what videos you guys want to watch. I kind of want to do pranks because I have no pranks on my channel, but I don't know. But yeah, guys. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.